So welcome everyone to week number 49 in 2019. This is the Eternity Development and Researchers Update call. It's like a public stand-up where everybody gives an update about their past week's work. I know we have had a developer meetup just this week from Monday to Thursday for most of the people. So I guess it makes sense that we summarize a little bit from there and what we have discussed and notes that we have taken, as I think most of the development teams have participated there. And yeah, I will go and start with the protocol and Sergey, who is the core maintainer and manager of the team. So Sergey, please give us an update.
So hi everyone, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Good. So as Eamon has just said, we spent most of the week in Sofia during our regular meetup. And I mean, we had 2 days of a meetup and then 1 day of a hackathon. But the most interesting part, regarding the new stuff, happened during the first few days. I think I won't have enough time to discuss all the topics, so I maybe will highlight only the most interesting and important, and maybe move the discussion to a forum post or a blog post where we'll just open our notes for a bigger public. During the meetup, we discussed I think the several topics, as I said. So the one which is of big importance is native tokens. So we all agreed that we shall continue our work on native tokens as a part of the protocol. But meanwhile, we will also start implementing, working on the AX standard number 9, I think, which describes the format standard for native tokens as smart contracts, which will be compatible with the tokens implemented on the native level. So again, native tokens will be a consensus breaking change, so they can be presented to the public only after next hard fork, which, by the way, for which we have a new name, Iris, the goddess of rainbow and the messenger of other gods of the Roman mythology. Then we also decided that we should push our work on the sandbox implementation of the aeternity. So basically something similar to the Ganesh from the Ethereum world, which allows you to deploy Eternity mini blockchain on your local machine without any mining, so which shall make the whole development process and testing and validation much easier. Another interesting topic was the ability to perform multi-sig signatures on the protocol level, so not using the smart contract, but on the protocol level. And one good candidate is no signatures, but right now we are looking into the existing implementation of no signatures, or evaluating the trade-offs of implementing it our own, which we all know is extremely dangerous, because the first rule of implementing your crypto is don't implement your crypto. So we are looking into this. There are other alternative, instead of using Schnorr, for which we already have some used library, for example, BLS signature, but right now, so this work is on the R&D level. And I think regarding the new feature, then we will continue expanding our naming services, improvements into the sync. So right now it should be happening on the 2 levels. So the first level, this is what we are working right now and what we are reporting you about on every week. So this is what UI is doing, improving the sync here and there. But the bigger aim is to introduce support for light sync, where for the node to become operational, you don't have to sync with the whole blockchain. So it should make the process of starting your own node much simpler and faster. And yeah, we're closing up our work on garbage collections, which I think I said it on previous week, is mostly done, basically from developer done. But since this feature touches a lot of critical paths in the node, we have agreed on the way how we will start testing it to get more confidence in having this implemented right and safe and secure. And I'm pretty sure my colleagues from the core team will have more things to add, but I think this was an overview that I wanted to give you, and the rest we'll discuss offline in a post.
Thank you very much, Sergey. This was a very, very good summary. I would have never been able to do that. So this was really good. I also took notes, and yeah, I'm looking forward to also discuss this with other community members and everyone in the forum in a more detailed way. And as you suggested, we are now going through other participants from the core protocol team, which are here in this call. And yeah, also see if they have to add or want to add something to what you just said. I would actually love to see Ulf, because with Ulf and Alexander and Dimitar, we have met on Thursday, where most of the people were gone already, but none of those three are here. So I will
Ulf's stuck in Sofia. He missed his plane and is sitting in the airport till 6, I think.
Oh no! Oh no! That's bad news. We should send him nice messages on dev chat. Okay, but interesting to hear. So Tino,
we talked to him today in the morning.
Yeah. So Tino, maybe you know, I mean, for sure you have had some discussions around state channels with the others also doing their stays. Maybe we can add a few sentences to the main points that have been discussed around state channels. You are muted.
Muted, damn it. Okay. Excuse my language. Yes, so since we met in person last week, we took the chance to create a midterm roadmap for the state channels. Obviously, we didn't do much actual coding last week. We did continue though on our quick take model for the state channels implementation. So we also decided that this is going to be a focus during the next month or so. So we can iron out even more bugs, kind of find hard to use corners of the protocol, which users might not have run into yet. So this is going to be a focus for us. Ulf is probably going to finish up his work on improving the chain watcher next week. So this will improve performance of when you have hundreds of state channels active on a node. And we, like short and midterm, one of our goals is, together with Milan from the wallet team, so to say, and obviously the SDK team as well, to create a end-to-end implementation or end-to-end integration of state channels into the wallet. Possibly even like in parallel with the air-gap team, we'll have to see. But that's kind of common goal between the three teams, so that we can end-to-end showcase real life use cases, basically. And ultimately, the result of that should be that it becomes easier for developers outside of this group we are meeting in here today to actually implement use cases using state channels instead of just on-chain transactions. So I think that's the most important bit.
Great. Yeah, thank you very much for this update. And also, I think before I jump to another core developer, I think I'd rather go to Milan, because you have also mentioned him. And I know, Milan, that you have spent like half a day doing the hackathon with Alexander, one of the core developers, and I think also some other people, to like go some small steps. And even though you had like HackHand live support, you had some challenges to overcome. Maybe you can say a few words to that and also give your update.
Yeah. Hello, guys. So yeah, as Emin mentioned, and also on the hackathon, we tried to integrate state channels in the wallet extension. And together with Alexander, we were able to open a channel in the wallet and also successfully do some token transfers via the state channel itself. So our main focus in the next week will be stabilizing those and also providing a nice user interface for getting to know what happens with these channels, like how many open channels you have, easy way to rejoin channels, because once you close them improperly, like without properly leave the channel, your channel stays open, and if you have some tokens inside of it, they are pretty much stuck if you don't rejoin and close it properly. So regarding this, yeah, as Tino said, we'll be collaborating more in the next week. And also regarding the wallet and not only the state channels, last week we got together with Nas from the SDK team, and we realigned our AX2 goals. We rebased our branch where we integrated AX2. So it will be working after the new release version 7.0, I think.
Please, nice. Please also mention what AX2 is, just for the people that don't know.
AX2 is an expansion proposal for communicating between, like for standardization of the communication between the wallets, and this between wallet and decentralized application. And this will basically by standardizing this, every wallet will be able to interact with every decentralized app if they use the standard. So that's why we were working that much on this. So we like all wallets are able to support decentralized apps, like interoperable. Regarding this, we found an issue in the new Chrome policy regarding the externally connectable applications. So our app injection will need to be slightly modified. We'll still keep the post message transportation layer, but we'll sync with NAS on specifying an exact interface which we'll use for communication. And what else? Yeah, there were some issues regarding this, but they will be also fixed when we finalize this. So yeah, I think this is from our side.
Cool. Yeah, I know it's a lot because we have really spent a lot of time, and it's impossible to collect all the feedback here. So it's also totally fine to just focus on the few bigger topics that we have discussed. And I will now jump back before I dive into the other wallets and the other stuff. I want to quickly jump back and ask Juraj if he wants to add something to what Sergey said just like 5 minutes ago. Juraj, you have something to add from your side?
Hi, yes, I can just summarize what we agreed on in Sofia. So basically, I will continue working on the sync, and there are two issues basically. The first one is with the peers management. We keep too many peers in the state of the node, and for this to fix, we need to get network simulator from the original developer. I think Thomas is working on this. And the second issue is with the validation speed. So I'm trying to make these validations parallel. And yeah, I think that's it.
Cool, thank you. And next in line, Carol. One, two, three, Carol. Yeah, perfect.
Yep. So basically, the most important thing was getting some feedback from other team members how to achieve or what should be the path to 100% confidence regarding the garbage collector should look like. One of the items on that list was to make sure that nothing is running while we do this garbage collection, which is something I'm working now. And another thing which would help is to use a different approach when we are swapping the tables. And besides that, Juraj and I were trying to explore maybe how we could try to implement something from the area of decentralized finance on Eternity, but this is really way too close to discuss much in a detail. So let's wait how this goes, and we'll have more updates in the future.
Yes, yeah, I also was a little bit part of this, and I think it's super exciting. And there will be some sort of commitment from all of us in the future on not only building the protocol and the essential tooling around it, but also like really using it by moving forward with some like example application that we all together hands-on work with. And I think this is a very, very good idea. And like this exploring has started now. Milan has made some examples for the state channel part, and you also had some great ideas. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see this developing in the future. One question I have, Carol, you will also be involved into doing the research for running Erlang, like let's say on WASM or in the browser and stuff. Like what has been discussed there? Are there any updates, and how do we, from your perspective, how will you continue there?
Well, it's the next thing in the queue. Basically, currently the ideal situation would be that the Lumen guys have their code again, their compiler merged in the main branch. So far, this hasn't happened yet. If this is still in a situation that we'll be waiting for this merge, it's possible to start working on their feature branch, but that is usually a bumpy road. So let's wait a week or two, and that will give us some time to finish garbage code.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, this is also fun and also great that like docking to other open source projects, and then of course also having the dependency there in terms of waiting. So this is kind of also growing this community. Thank you very much, Carol.
Thanks.
So I think we went through all this, the protocol updates. I think, Nikita, you joined a little bit late, so you don't have to repeat all the stuff that Sergey already said, but maybe you still have a few things on your mind that are also very much related to protocol development. Maybe keep it short, but mention the bigger topics that you have been involved with, and maybe also a few sentences to the updates on this the Fire editor. I think this is yeah, the word is with you now.
Thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm actually still a bit exhausted from the intense meetings in Sofia, so that's why I just stumbled in a little bit later, because I totally forgot about time.
I think same with everyone.
Yeah.
Ulf is still in Sofia.
Yeah, so we discussed lots of interesting things in Sofia for having a way faster sync. I think it will be really nice when the coding people will be able to start working on it. Another interesting thing is that Tino actually got Eternity running on an IBM super fast mainframe computer. We'll just investigate every day 2 minutes or something to benchmark and see how fast we can actually get the Eternity protocol running. Yeah, essentially for the public, this would be most probably the most exciting topics. The other stuff was just more like, yeah, under the hood core related. And as promised, I found some time in Sofia to finally release the latest changes and features for the Fire editor. I will try to share my screen with you. Can you tell me if it works?
Works perfectly.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. So essentially, as always, the simplest things are most oftentimes to like achieve really hard or only with tedious work to make them like super simple and easy. So one thing is that the Fire editor is more like aimed to look like something like Visual Studio Code, or like at least have all the features that you would expect from an IDE, but then also run in the browser. And what is really tricky is to have it interact with all the asynchronous components like compilers. But I think we're really good now. So right now you can have your various contracts open here and work on them at the same time, and you will always have an overview over here, and they are all locally saved. So if you reload the editor, your work will still be there. The whole error highlighting and reporting will always be scoped, so no issues there anymore, and you can just go to your favorite tab, choose your favorite contract, and deploy it when it's time for that, essentially. So and interact with any of the contract in parallel, however you basically need it. And the second bigger change is that I reworked the event console a little bit better down here, so it will of course gets a little bit more revamp, but now you can open and close it basically and have your all various events in a nicer, more beautiful manner, so to say, although of course there's a ton of data that still can be maybe displayed a little bit nicer, but hopefully people will find it a little bit more self-explanatory, so to say. Maybe we're going to add some more coloring down here. And yeah, that's essentially it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that update, Nikita. And yeah, I've tried the Fire Editor already, and it works for me very nice. Yeah, and also thanks for mentioning the other things. Generally, everyone here, if they think that someone else forgot to tell something about their product, then just mention it quickly. It's fine. As we work close together, we can also sometimes highlight those things. Andy, you are working with AirGap, and you have joined us, and I think this was also really great, as you're kind of not only dealing with Eternity, but many other crypto projects, and can add your experience. So please, what was like the most important topics for you? I mean, right now, and also during the workshop.
Yeah, it was a very fun week. It was especially nice to see all the core developers that I have never met before, and get some insights into the core workings of Eternity. Yeah, so that was good to have basically an overview, and also to think about the various topics that we heard before, like state channels, token standards, and also things that are not really on the protocol level, like a documentation process and the AX process. We talked about all those things, and it was good to have all people in one place, and that made it really efficient. I also took the chance to talk to all the SDK teams, especially Nas from the JavaScript SDK. We kind of synced up on some of the security precautions that we took in our SDK that they will now also adopt in the JavaScript SDK, and vice versa. That was very good. Yeah, that's basically it from my side from this part of the week. And then I also finally I can finally make the announcement that we have successfully shipped out AirGap version 3 on iOS. It's not published yet. We are still waiting for approval on the Play Store. But as soon as this is ready, which is fingers crossed today, we will hit submit, and it will be live in both app stores. Yes.
Great. Yeah, you have also mentioned that like you also get a lot of user feedback, like, I don't know, setting up the initial time that you improved it in time and stuff like this. So there were many also UX stuff that you shared, and this was very interesting, and I think helps all wallets across the board. I have also recently saw an Excel spreadsheet on Twitter, what I would like to share with you, where a guy from Berlin who is quite deeply integrated into the Ethereum scene collected, I think, like right now 40 different Ethereum wallets with lots of different functionality. I think it's a very, very interesting spreadsheet to look at. I might post it in the forum or share it and share it with you directly later.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Cool. So let's continue here. I see Christian, who's part of AE Projects, the local development framework. Basically, your whole team has been there, as you are based in Bulgaria. So this was great. And yeah, please give a little update from your side.
Yep. Hello, everyone. So this week, as many of you mentioned, we were also attended the Eternity Developer Meetup in Sofia. We had some good discussion there on the sandbox part, which will be really great to have, as it will speed up our environment start. We had some token migration support on the forum, and also we are working on how-to video tutorial for the people who want to migrate with MyEther wallet. As currently we just have with MetaMask, and we will get some feedback like, hey, why you don't make a video with MyEther wallet? Because yeah, you know, we managed to fix issue with the Docker where it was caching the state, and on initialization turned out found them for the very first time. We also improved some common errors. So if you have your Docker turned off, it will be displayed informational message as from now on. We added transaction inspector documentation. Added support also for the latest version of Docker Compose. And we have our coffee shop prepared over Lima update. And we are just waiting for the node to sync so we can kick it in. And that's pretty much it.
Cool, great, thank you. Next one I would like to move forward with is Stoyan from the base wallet team. I know there has been discussed so much, so it will be basically impossible for you to summarize everything, but like try to do it in a couple of minutes and give us an update from your main experiences during the workshop. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, so I'll keep it very simple. We discussed a lot about how we do things. One of the discussions that was particularly relevant to us is what happens if a user, and in this case a user could be an end user, could be a developer, reports an issue with the base app, and then that issue may be somewhere else along the stack which we depend on and which the developer depends on by depending on us. And so the result of that session is that we plan to make a shared queue where these issues are kept track of and figure out an effective way to reward someone to quickly and effectively this point where which part of the stack the issue is in, and then issue in the repository of that part of the stack can be made so that the people responsible for that part of the stack can address it quickly. And we're hoping that this will free up, it will make the process more effective, because right now it ends up being us responsible for it, when in reality we're not the ones that are making the change most of the time. So I'm very excited about that. We also discussed deep links, which are part of AX4. Rather, AX4 is an expansion related to deep links, and I'm particularly excited to continue to make them more accessible and to push for everyone is in all the wallets to adopt them and make it really easy for app developers to make some simple apps on Eternity without knowing too much about, or maybe even anything about how blockchain works. So expect more updates on that. We're also, while I was in Sofia, we kept working on the actual deep link implementation, and so mid next week we'll share it publicly. Right now we've just been testing it internally. People has tried it. Some other people have looked at and given feedback, but next week it will be shared publicly on the forum. And as far as how this relates to AXs in Sofia, we agree that in order to not get stuck on AXs for a relatively long time without moving them to review and finally accepted status, we're going to experiment with implementations, knowing that it's quite dangerous to simply move on with implementations without thinking through them, but also soon after experimenting with these implementations in different wallets, we would come together to try to form a standard. And then when we're discussing the standard, we would basically be making educated decisions, because we've already struggled with the implementation or the way we implemented it. We could say with some weight what's right and what's wrong, and versus just speculating the best way without actually trying it. And another kind of example of this collaboration, which covers different parts of the stack, is the naming system. We, just by virtue of being all together in the same room or the same space, we were able to fix quite a few issues with the naming system, so it works more reliably now in the base app. There's still some, it's not perfect yet, and I have decided for myself, in addition to taking more of the initiative to make deep links great, I need to compile, gather together a small group of people to commit to getting the naming system to this kind of very high quality level, so that we feel like it's something where we can show to people and are confident that it works as expected. And then the next phase after that would be to decouple it from the base app. So either to move it into its own app, which can be opened by the wallet or AirGap or anyone else that supports apps, or the other option, which Milan suggested, which is a general approach, is to abstract things into NPM modules so that different wallets could use their functionality and add their own UI. This may not be the right approach for the naming system, but it's an interesting approach that we are now considering for different functionality that can be reused. But it may be, instead of using it as an app, it can be used as a module and just load it easily. So that's the high level update, and of course there's,
thank you, Stoyan,
in the background a lot more happening. But,
thank you, Stoyan. I mean, this is so much cross and vertical work. It's like really bug support, bug report, support pipeline, AEX process, speeding up implementations, all these thoughts about the naming system, and also like decoupling applications or features from the wallet and actually making them into mini applications. I think there are many, many great ideas in there, and I'm looking forward to this to happen in the next couple of months and weeks. Thank you. We have more guests here that haven't spoken. Instead of Daniela, it's today Arthur, as I can see from the Alexia SDK. So Arthur, please tell us a few words about your discussions and participation.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So this week, as you all know, Elixir SDK team was attending Sofia event where we discussed a lot of things happening in Aeternity and also to our SDK. Also, during the last day of the event, during the hackathon, we experienced a problem with the creation of call data for some of smart contracts. So we are currently investigating it. This week, we also made a new minor release of our SDK featuring small adjustments. So I suppose this is a quick update from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Arthur. Thank you very much. And I've got a request today from the example that you have published for the Smart Oracle. If people can reuse this, I will reach out to you. And I was very happy to see that somebody spotted it and asked if they can really use that example for their purposes of running an Oracle on Eternity. So I think this is already one great success that we tried to achieve by publishing those examples, that people get notice that and then basically contact us or make a post in the forum to reuse it or implement it, take it as a part of the implementation into their own project. But I will reach out on dev chat about this to you.
Yeah, sure. We'll be glad to help.
Cool. So I think there's a fellow Jitsi, so I don't know who that is. So I will jump to Omar. Omar is in Uruguay. I know you are preparing lots of stuff around the La BitConf conference in Montevideo next week, where we will also play a role in. Maybe you can give everyone an update what's happening there on the other side of the planet.
Hey guys, how are you? Do you hear me well?
Yes, thank you.
Cool, awesome. Well, yes, we are working on many stuff. Particularly, we have some interesting things that I can't say yet, but it involves the paper wallets. So I was working with Andrea,
Nice.
updating that project that has been in cold during the last year, but now it's working and working fine. So I'm happy with that.
Please also publish a short tutorial if it's not already there, so other people can use it too. Not now, but whenever you have a little time.
Yeah, sure. Sure. And I guess yes, we are excited with the BitConf. There is a lot of things to tell about the projects we are doing and the projects that are coming on the near future. And well, you will see the surprises when we reach the BitConf.
Nice. Yeah, unfortunately we cannot participate, but we are awaiting pictures and videos and lots of love from Uruguay.
Oh yes. We will send a lot of pictures and videos.
Cool.
We are very excited, but there is a lot of work to do yet. So
yeah. So thank you. I think this is your update for now. So
I think we lost Emin. Can you hear Emin, guys?
No, I cannot.
I cannot.
No. Okay, while we're waiting, just quick mention that actually we are at the BitConf. Pablo is there, and he's doing tons of interviews and meeting various people. So we're expecting a lot of media coverage of Eternity there. So just a quick note.
Yes. Yes, that's right. I forgot to tell about that. But yes, Pablo is appearing on a lot of radio programs. He's being interviewed at a lot of newspapers. So there will be a lot of noise and good noise about the Eternity.
Nice.
This side, La BitConf is a pretty big event here. So and in all Latam. So.
Cool. Yeah, I'm back. I don't know. I get kicked out of some security, whatever SSL issues of Jitsi. I don't know why this always happens to me. But another big event, maybe also to wrap this up, is not only the La BitConf next week in Uruguay, but also on the 12th. So on Thursday next week, there will be the demo day for the Eternity Starfleet Malta. There will be 10 projects that are pitching for funds for an investment, and these are all to Eternity connected ideas. So I'm pretty sure this will also be live streamed. So if somebody's interested in that, please the Twitter channel. So just subscribe to that, take a look from time to time so you don't miss all those interesting things that are also happening outside the development, which we are discussing usually here on Friday. I would also wrap this call up now because it has been already 40 minutes and I think we have told a lot of updates. And maybe next week it would be nice to again see the updates in the forum, so also they can be collected by Pega and put into the newsletter for people because the forum gets busy and it's nice to just have an overview about all updates. And this is Pega is doing that. What she's also doing is to updating the documentation hub, and there has been a bigger update also with links to all active projects that we are aware of, like a list. So you can also check this out and how to contribute there. And yeah, overall, I think lots of things has happened in the past 6 days, and it's good that we have weekend now to sort of think about all this stuff and then get to work again on Monday morning. So thank you very much for participating, and see you all next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.